All right, from here we're going to go to the left-hand side menu, and you're going to select the second option, which is books and ebooks, and you're going to click on that. And that's going to open up our online catalog. And this happens to be a new platform that we're using. It's called Primo. So those of you who have previously looked for books in our library using our catalog in the past may notice that this looks very different from what we used to have. And this is actually a new platform that's going to be used by all community colleges in California. I would say 95% of community colleges are using this platform. And a lot of Cal States are already using this platform. So that should make it recognizable, and once you have experience using it, it should be easy for you to use when you move on to Cal State or if you change to another community college. So here you're going to notice is the search bar where you can search through the catalog and what we have in the library. Really important to know is that right now we only have books showing up for the library. Eventually, we might have other things popping up, such as journal articles. Basically, it will be like a one search. But for now, we're just searching through books in our catalog. That's how we have it set. So in your search bar, this is where you would type in your search by keyword. And this is very similar to our old catalog, where you would go by keyword. So I'm going to do a sample based on the topic that you have for your class assignment, which is border wall. And you're going to notice a couple of drop-down options come up. So you have border wall with Mexico, border walls, security, and the war on terror. These might be some book titles of books that we have related to this topic, but I'm just going to leave border wall. And then you'll notice that there are two options: library catalog and course reserves. We're going to stick with library catalog because we're only looking at what we have in the library right now. So I'm just going to click on that, and you'll see it pops up over here, library catalog. And we're looking through all items. You'll see here this first drop down, and it is containing the words border wall. That's what we typed in. Anywhere in the record. So that means it could be in the title, it could be in the description, it could be in the table of contents. Anywhere that shows these two words, it's going to give us that as a result. Now, when you look here, it tells you this is page 1. There are 88 results total for this word combination. And if we scroll down, you're going to see border wall is underlined in yellow. And then sometimes you'll see border by itself, and it's also possible that you see wall, right? This one, number 6, is also by itself. Okay, so the catalog searches based on the word, not necessarily the phrase. And I'm going to talk about this when we get to databases as well, but to restrict the phrase, if you only want the combination border wall, you don't want border by itself, and you don't want wall by itself, then you would put quotation marks in front and behind your phrase, and you would hit enter to update that search, or click the magnifying glass to update that search. And then it will reduce your search results. So here you see we went from 88 to 16, and you'll see that our results are now restricted to the phrase border wall together. Okay, I'm going to go back though because I want to see the greater result list just to see what I have, and you can always try one or both of these combinations to see what works best for you. Okay, so a couple things I want to point out about these results as you see them on the screen. One, of course, is the book's title. So this has the yellow underline for the keywords that we searched. This is in bold. It is a link. When I click on this link, it will give me details to the book, which I'm going to do in a second. We also have here the author. the edition, when it was published, the year it was published. We also have initially whether this book is available or not. So you'll see that it is green and it says available. That means it should be on the shelf here in the library. For this one here, you see it's available online, and that's because it is an ebook. I'll get to that in a second. If it is not available, it will be grayed out and it will say not available. So that usually means that someone has borrowed the book and you will not be able to find it on the shelf. And of course, it's going to be at our library, and it tells you what stacks or what section of the library it's available. Circulating book stacks. This is basically most of our library and where most of our books are located. These are the books that can go home with you for 3 weeks. And then the call number. The call number is the most important part. You need the call number in order to find the book on the shelf. And so clicking on this or clicking on this will give you the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this link, and it's going to open up the details of the book. And it's going to repeat a lot of the information that you see up here. So the location, whether it's available or not, the call number, how many copies is available is additional information you'll see here that you won't see on that first page. And if there is more than one copy, you could click on this expand all items and it will give you the information for both of those copies. And then scrolling down here, you'll notice even more detailed information about this book, such as subject headings. So these are some subject headings related to this book. And then you have the genre. So this happens to be a juvenile lit book, so that could be YA, it could be a children's book. And then there are contents. So this varies from book to book. Sometimes it's very detailed with a lot of information, and sometimes it has very little information for you. It just depends on the book. This one happens to give us a breakdown of all of the essays or chapters that are in this book, and it also gives us a brief description, a paragraph telling us a little bit about this book, how many pages, if it has illustrations, things like that. And then at the bottom, you'll see this is a virtual browse, so you can look through other book titles that are similar in content. And so if you like this book and you want something similar to it, you can look through here and select one of these titles as well. Okay. Let me go back up and show you what the subject headings do. With these subject headings, these are all hyperlinks. If you like any of these subject headings, let's say I want to know more about the Mexican-American border region, particularly as it relates to immigration and immigration, then you can click on this link and it will do a new search for you. You see right here, it automatically popped it into that search bar for you, and it will give you a list of results of books related to this subject. There are 12. Okay, so that's a really cool feature of the catalog. The subject headings is very useful, especially if you get stuck with some of your research. Okay.